Former Red Sox manager Terry Francona last night, after the Reds and his pitcher in particular, Chase Burns, got his teeth kicked in by the Red Sox, who jumped all over him. And, some of the talk after the game was that Burns was tipping pitches. When Francona's asked about it, he says Alex Cora is one of the best at it. So I thought we'd start there. I know this
Cora's one of the best at that.
Thank you. Thank you, Tito. Sorry. I know this is NHL, NBA free agency. As events happen, we will break in and give you the news. You can call us on whatever you want. You can call us on the Bruins moves today, such as they are. The Celtics moves, such as they are. You can call anytime on that. We'll take your calls and mix it all in at 617-779-0985. But short of sort of major news, I thought we'd start here, Maz. So let me just put it to you like this. If it came out that Bill Belichick and the Patriots
I know where you're going with this. Keep going.
We're able to pick up on opponents' tendencies and take advantage of it, what would be the first reaction?
Cheetah.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't.
Cheetah.
You wouldn't be able to. If anyone said that about a Bill Belichick coach team, that maybe we should look at it. They seem to know what was coming, and Belichick's one of the best at that. Wouldn't you immediately sort of go, huh?
Yeah.
Devious, underhanded.
Am I allowed to do that with Alex Cora and the Red Sox?
Sure, yes. Now look at...
Especially considering the history, he's a devious cheater, was with the Houston Astros.
And this is the second time this year this has happened.
Right.
So, and I wonder, is it really or is it more than two? So here's what I want to know. Look at them on paper. Okay, look at the Red Sox on paper. I think they're tied for the fifth best run differential in the American League. Yet they have a losing record, and they're 3 games under 500. Okay, so again, you look at the math, and this is consistent with what they were early in the year. My point is, Murray, do you remember when I said to you early in the year, what do the Red Sox do well, and you said they hit bad pitching?
Yeah.
Okay, the point being, when they win by
landslides.
Right. They've scored 10 or more runs a dozen times this year, which is the second highest total in baseball.
It's 12 or more runs. Can I actually read what you wrote today on the website?
The 12 is wrong. It's 10 or more runs.
So we've corrected that.
Yes.
So the Red Sox have now had 12 games this season, you write, in which they have scored 10 or more runs.
Correct, 10.
Tied for the second most in baseball, only to the Cubs. You write that, again, for 985thesportshub.com. Go read it now. You say that, might it be that a chunk of those games occurred when the other pitcher has tipped pitches? If so, it would help explain the bizarre trick-or-treat nature of the Boston offense. Of the 12 games, this is the one I want to focus on. Of the 12 games, all wins in which the Red Sox have scored at least 10 runs, 7 occurred at home.
Correct.
The most in baseball.
Right. They have the most home games like that in baseball. So I know what you're thinking. Like, do they have the camera working in center field?
Well, I haven't said any of that. All I've said is, if
you're implying it.
I'm going there. I mean, I'm taking the conversation there. Obviously, I haven't said that yet. What I'm saying is, if the Patriots and Bill Belichick, or North Carolina this year, if a Bill Belichick coach team, and it comes out that there's a trend developing where they seem to know what's coming from the opponent in certain games, and the most of them are at home, what's the first knee-jerk thing people would say about Bill Belichick and that team?
Cheetah.
You're cheating.
You'd go...
He's videotaping the sideline.
You'd say he's up to his old tricks.
Yes.
So, I don't know. That's the first thing I think of when I hear this. The home thing is a little bit of a giveaway, too. For me, or not a giveaway, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, a red flag. Like, it's one that you look at and go, really? Why is that happening more at home than anywhere else? To me, like, I put a slight variation on it, and I would say this. Do I think they're using the video camera in center field and they're beating on a trash can in the dugout? My answer is no.
Well,
no, the first base coach is stealing signs. Again, to Jimmy's point, this happened a month ago with the Angels.
But, guys, what signs? Thanks to us, baseball went away from that archaic, stupid thing with the catcher and
Correct.
the fingers underneath the crotch. It's now PitchCom. So there's no signals. There's
Correct.
There's no signals to steal.
Right. So this is why I have.
There's no signals to steal in the old traditional way
Correct.
with the center field camera.
But
Correct.
there's new fandangled ways. I don't know what they are, but there's cheating afoot.
So, I mean, what the
Why would an Angels pitcher, sorry to cut you off, but why would an Angels pitcher, this Tyler Anderson a month ago, lose his mind for no reason? Because he got his face kicked in? Because he's out there pitching? He's like, these guys know what's coming. They know what's coming because they're cheating. There's cheating afoot.
In the words of Mike Tomlin, we were listening to the Patriots Football Network.
I was just going to say one of the many, many things Belichick was accused of over the years with much validity was that they tapped into sideline communications. There's a way to tap into this pitch com thing?
Maybe.
Of course there is.
Okay, but I'll tell you, in all honesty, I'll tell you how I read this whole thing. Okay? For as long as I have heard, Cora is an excellent assessor of guys tipping pitches.
It's what they've always said, just like Bill Belichick is just the master at discerning what you're about to do.
Okay? So he's good at it.
So's Bill.
Okay. So now here's the point. Let's say it's on the level and that he's just sees something the pitcher does.
Fans his glove out.
Okay. And that he knows what's coming because they knew everything that was coming last night. I'm sorry. Slider first pitch, fastball first pitch. They were on it every time.
Can I ask you? And listen, I'm kind of teasing you, but I'm kind of not. I'm just saying, like, on the level. If we said this, and I'm sorry to cross sports, but it's the closest we got. Or give me another, if Carlos Beltran, right? He was the guy that was banging the trash can in Houston. He was on that staff, correct? If all of a sudden Carlos, he manages the Mets, right?
Not now. No.
Where's he manage?
He's not. I don't think he's managing anywhere at the moment.
Wasn't he?
He got hired and then he got fired.
Okay.
He never managed an actual game.
Oh. So if his team all of a sudden is picking up on pitches and it's like we got to look at the pitch tipping and they have this abnormal production at home, like what would you say about Carlos Beltran? But just with Belichick, what would you be saying? So that's just where I'm going. What was I just going to say? You were just about to say something, and now I lost my train of thought.
So I was going to say, if Cora is actually good at picking this up, which he is.
Oh, can I say what I was going to say?
Yeah, go ahead, go.
Have any of these white boys on the internet, these white dorky boys on the internet, done any of the video breakdown?
The John Boy guys.
Is it
Most
John
of the
Boy?
people from the Cincinnati Reds TikTok have done a lot of these breakdowns.
Okay,
yes.
so this is what I was asking because there's now. I know this because
John Boy did the thing with the trash can thing. He had the whole breakdown.
Okay, so I say white boy. I knew it was something like that, John Boy, because I know my guy in Milwaukee, Devin Williams, with his he gave up this 3-run homer to the Mets,
Pete Alonso
and Alonso, and they went and the word came out that he was tipping his off-speed pitch, and they went back and did the video, and it was freaking obvious. The guy fanned out his glove like he was holding a literal fan. It was so easy to pick up. And so I'm wondering, have they done the same thing here with Chase Burns?
So I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure they have. And I get so that look, technically, if you tip your pitches, it's not this is not the Houston Astros scandal all over again, right? But my question is this the only time they can win? Like, does Cora have to tap into is Cora picking up on someone tipping pitches? Because otherwise they can't hit. They've had 12 of these games. The rest of the time when they don't score, they suck.
I say yes to that. He's only ever been a winning manager with a stacked team or with cheating. So, yes.
Cora's one of the best at that.
I mean, and this is where Cora's reputation works against him. And the way Francona said it was kind of like,
Cora's one of the best at that.
Like what?
So good.
Like, what's he getting at? That's how it felt to me. Like that Cora, they know it. They knew it before. I'm telling you, I was listening in the car to the first inning last night. It was the first or second pitch in every at-bat that was getting roped all over the ballpark. Sometimes it was a slider. Sometimes it was a fastball. Sometimes it was just off speed. I heard it and go, they know it. They know what he's throwing. They can predict because it was a different pitch, it felt like every time, and they knew what was coming, so they clearly had it. They clearly knew what he was throwing. I think it was the game last night might as well have been fixed. That was a gift. They completely had all the info they needed. It was over after the bottom of the first.
So I would say at least Cora's finally doing something that helps them win. We've been asking for a couple of years, what does he do?
Cheat.
Well, if he's doing that, I don't think anyone has a problem with it.
Cora's one of the best at that.
You think that was a shot?
100% it's a shot. Listen to the inflection. Tito knows Cora very well, so I know Tito knows.
I thought Cora and Francona were good.
Yeah.
How's Francona with the organization?
Terrible.
Yeah, so he's putting the screws to the organization by doing
Maybe.
that. Yes, that's exactly
listen to
what's
this
happening.
tone. I can't stress this enough. This is Tito with tone. I know I've been around him as have you, Tony.
Cora's one of the best at that.
Give me the whole cut again.
I mean, he put it right on Cora right away.
Give me the whole cut.
Almost as if they knew it was coming. Could they have had something on
I
that?
don't know. That's something that you always probably need to check.
Yes.
He threw some pitches that caught a lot of the plate, and they were definitely looking hard.
Yes.
But those are always things we try to check for.
He's cheating.
They're really, Cora's one of the best at that. But you're right. They were certainly ready. I mean, they were coming out hacking, and they were squaring it up pretty good.
And then you see Francona's facials. He's telling you Cora's cheating again. And by the way, bravo, Alex Cora. Cheat more, win more.
I mean, we have been asking, what do you do? Do something. Just do something. And so who knows? But also the disparity at home would have me wondering. But that's interesting, Maury. That's right. Like there was like a pregame scuffle there.
It was against the Angels.
yeah.
They won that
Against the
fake
Angels.
win game.
Was it in Anaheim or
No, it was here.
It was
Fenway.
here.
was
Of course it was here.
It was getaway day. It's the last day of the series. And the first base coach, and what was his name? Anderson was the pitcher, right?
Tyler Anderson.
Yeah, they got into it before the game. He accused him of stealing signs.
It's because the Red Sox knew fastball versus off-speed pitch during his game.
It's the only way they can win. This explains it. When they get the signs, they're good. The rest of the time, they blow.
Of the 12 games, all wins, in which the Red Sox have scored at least 10 runs, 7 have occurred at home, the most in baseball. The Red Sox suck. They have the most 10-run wins at home in baseball.
Correct.
Is that, wins at home in which they've scored 10 runs.
Yeah, most 10-run games, period. They've won them all, but most 10-run games at home. Yeah, that's right. And that includes, look, again, Colorado probably doesn't have the talent they did, but whatever. Like, and last night it was so painfully obvious that they knew what was coming. That to me was like, Mike, this is a team, remember, I got a lot going through my head at the moment, so I'm sorry. This is a team, remember, that with runners in scoring position, they strike out more than any team in the game. Last night in the first inning, they went 4 for 5 with men in scoring position and were roping the ball all over the ballpark. A team that has had trouble hitting velocity all year long. All of a sudden, there's a guy out there throwing bullets and they're roping them all over the ballpark. They knew what was coming. That's the only possible answer.
The Red Sox, if you said some of this, forgive me, the Red Sox, you right, swung at 8 of the 12 pitches. At 8 of the 12 pitches and produced 1 swing and miss, 1 foul, 1 ground out singles, 3 doubles, and a homer. So they swung at 8 of the first 12 pitches?
No, it was a 12-pitch sequence in the middle of the inning.
I see, I'm sorry. The Red Sox sent 13 men to the plate in the first inning, 9 of them against Burns. At one point, Burns threw a succession of just 12 pitches that went like this. Strike looking, strike swinging, single, double, ball, ground out, foul, double, ball, home run, strike looking, double, single, bye-bye Burnsy. The Red Sox swung at 8 of the 12 pitches and produced just 1 swing and miss. So that's what you're referring to.
Oh, my gosh. It was like a freaking driving range.
Charlie in Watertown, your thoughts?
Nonsense during Saturday's game with Jarren Duran and Abraham Toro. So Toro gets a single. And he forgets to do the movie camera nonsense. And so from the dugout, Jarren Duran is berating the poor guy from the dugout to do the movie camera. Finally, he gets his attention, and he does it. And I noticed, and I thought this was the reason he was yelling at him, but in fact, the telecast even commented on it and showed it on replay. So, Jarren Duran, his issues aside, that. To me, bullying, a rookie, I don't know if he's a rookie still, But a guy like that shouldn't be happening. And to me, it screws up. That's not a priority for this team right now, is the friggin' movie camera or the stupid Wally head. So,
okay, do you know what he's talking about, Mazz?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't. I have no idea.
Dave in Weymouth. Hi, Dave.
So you guys were suggesting they might be cheating at home. I just think it's interesting that they have a very lefty-heavy lineup, and if anything, should be doing a little worse at home, if I understand correctly.
That's not what I'm driving at.
No, Fenway Park is a left-handed hitter's ballpark. Again, we have to explain this every now and then. It helps lefties more than righties, and it helps lefties in the area of batting average more than righties because they can hit the ball to the opposite field and get rewarded for it.
And in right field, it's a big field, so if you're pull heavy, there's a little more room out there as well.
Totally. And look, most guys will generate pull power. So when you pull the ball, it's going to carry. But the trick is, can you hit it to the opposite field with power? And Fenway lets lefties do that because the wall's so close. So I remember when Adrian Gonzalez came to the Red Sox, someone said to me, Fenway Park is going to add like 40 points on his batting average. And it did.
Okay. That's not what Francona was implying going on last night.
No.
And the cheating stuff in any sport, home is where you can really go to lunch.
Sure.
You can really take advantage. And that's what stands out to me is that the vast majority of these games for the Red Sox have been at home. How about Larry in Andover? Hi, Larry.
Yeah, I got some Swiss cheese at home. It's got a lot of holes in it, just like your theory. If you watch the game between Cincinnati and the Yankees, he struck out the first 6 batters. I'm talking about Burns. And then the second time around, they lit him up. So he's giving away some pitches. He's a rookie pitcher. Hey, they only win once in a while. I'll give him my trash can. I'll go out there and bang the thing myself.
What do you think Francona thinks?
I think Francona thinks that Cora saw something in delivery and relayed it to his players, and that the players are then passing it along to one another. Again, there's that video of who was Durant talking to in the on-deck circle. He was whispering in his ear.
Yeah.
Basically told him, watch out for this. When the glove does this, this is what you're going to get. They were on it. They were on it from the get-go.
Okay. That would be above board.
Yeah. My guess, I honestly...
So listen, what was Anaheim all pissed off about?
Good question. I don't know.
If you're just picking up on a delivery thing, you don't have a right to get pissed at the other team.
No, you don't. You don't. But again, I told you, I'm laughing at the fact that they have to know what pitch is coming to win. That's sort of how I take it. So, would this qualify? If it was just pitch tipping, would it qualify under the umbrella of cheating? My answer is no.
No, but listen.
But I think that's what they need in order to play like they did last night.
If it came out and if Bill Belichick was ahead of the opponent because he was able to pick up tells and keys for what they were going to run, would anyone sit there and take that at face value?
Going back to a month ago, Tyler Anderson, and this is Jose Flores, first base coach. The incident unfolded during batting practice. Reports indicate Anderson confronted Flores about allegedly stealing signs, specifically from the catcher, not from the pitcher.
So again, how would he be stealing signs, right?
Yeah, there's no way.
While the new PitchCom system is designed to prevent sign stealing, Anderson seemed convinced that Flores was relaying information to the batter. The situation escalated with the involvement of the pitching coaches from both sides before being diffused.
Okay, there's no way.
They figured it out. They found some sort of flaw in the system, and they're cheating.
The Pats used to tap into the headphones, okay? Like that, or teams have been accused of doing that. Pats were accused of doing that. Just accused, allegedly. So there's no other way. The catcher's not putting a finger down there anymore. It's do you think there's someone there with a parabolic, what do they call it?
Parabolic mic.
The parabolic mic somewhere?
We were listening to the Patriots Radio Network.
Sean in Salem, what do you got for us?
Hey, guys, if you were going to be cheating, when's the best time to do it, right? The first or last game of a home series versus a team that only comes there once a year, right? And it just so happens that's when they do it. Game 1 versus Cincy, versus St. Louis, the White Sox, the Angels. But it's peculiar, especially when you look at, other than those 7 big home games that they had where they scored 99 runs, in the other 36, they've only scored 128, which would make them the worst offense in baseball.
Back up.
Yeah.
You're saying these games where they're scoring 10 runs are the first game of home series against teams that are only through here once?
Correct.
Which
or
are those?
last. You could go last. I added the Angels.
So you could go the last game as well, but the Angels thing happened in the middle game, I want to say. Because
It was the last, but
well, no, because they were there the next day to yell at the first base coach.
Right.
sure.
Right.
But they've only had 4 teams come in for their only visit so far this year, and 3 times it happened in the first game of the series.
So
Let's put it that way.
Okay, so like again, I'm trying to say. So 4 times they've had teams come in on their first series, or is this the only time Cincinnati's
Only.
through?
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
So
Yes.
4 teams have come here for their only series, and in 3 of those 4, in Game 1, the Red Sox went off.
Correct.
Okay, they're cheating.
So St. Louis came in. Game 1 was 13-9.
That's a great stat.
Okay, then there was a rain out. The finale was 18-7. So they got him in the first game and they got him in the last game. Then the White Sox. That's actually White Sox came in. They beat them 10-3.
And that's
This was great.
And that's the White Sox only visit.
I think that is correct. Let me again. They don't play. They don't make 2 trips everywhere anymore.
Is that right?
Yeah, they changed that. So, oh my gosh, is this true?
This is great.
That is the White Sox only trip is correct.
See, get them in the first game.
No, I don't like the theory feels a little like the reasons to do it in the first game feels a little flawed.
You would do it in the last.
But I'll go with it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean,
Chicago game, okay. Then what was the other one he
I mean,
said?
he didn't give me the teams, but I mean, just give me any trend. Trends are trends. They have answers. They have reasons. The Angels thing is right there. Stealing signs, and you said not coming from the pitcher. The pitcher generally doesn't send signs, Murray. The pitcher just shakes them off.
Correct.
Just yes or no, and every once in a while, maybe the pitcher will quickly, there's a way to, Mazz, when you throw your glove like this, that's off speed. When you throw it underneath, it's curve.
Right.
That's a fastball.
During warm-ups.
Yeah,
yes.
but warm-ups they'll do that.
Yes.
Every now and then during the run of play, a pitcher just gets annoyed and he's like, fastball. You know what I mean?
Look, I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it.
Okay, so they coming from the catcher to the pitcher. They only send signs one way now.
I know.
It's the pitch com.
Yeah. So how are they tapping in?
Have they tapped into the opponent's pitch com?
We were listening to the Patriots radio broadcast.
Joking. There's only one way to do that. I love this kind of stuff.
Great.
Back to
subterfuge.
your thoughts.
Guys, let's talk about what happened in that stadium tonight.